Government grade, government grade. It's a government grade, government.
Lashes, fishnets, and thigh-high jeans. She was well known across the scene. Cleopatra wigs and shiny shoes. It was clear she saw what she did to you. Street corner spotlight lights up the stage where she lives her life. Streetwalker in the spotlight each night, walking on the sharp edge of the knife. Run for the money, walk for the grab. The best you've had. Best you've had. Best you've had. Run for the money, walk for the grab. The best you've had. Lecherous men all ask her out. To most of them, she says no. The paying gent she sticks to most. A wealthy man is a generous host. Street corner spotlight, a delicate shade to enhance skin white. Streetwalker in the spotlight, flesh painted on, skin tight. Run for the money, walk for the grab. The best you've had. Best you've had. Best you've had. Run for the money, walk for the grab. The best you've had. She's jumping, she's grabbing, she's keeping up the game. She's backward and forwards, in and out the same. With suit on and shirt on, money makes your name. She's helpless, she's lifeless, but keeping up the game. She's jumping, she's grabbing, she's keeping up the game. She's backward and forwards, in and out the same. With suit on and shirt on, money makes your name. She's helpless, she's lifeless, but keeping up the game. G'day, you mob. So many flies. So many flies. Hi, welcome. Hope everyone is healthy and well and stuff. Good to see all 19 of you here. Scott Henderson, I believe that is your first. And as we all know, big bucket of kudos goes out in the post to the first person in the chat. Today's Victor
Scott Henderson, the artist, Scott Henderson. Check out his Instagram. Nice pictures indeed. El Tropico. Second place is first loser, Tropico, sorry to say. But welcome anyway, buddy. You know, I always like it when you're here. Donnie Gallagher, how are you? Mriddle Singh, or as I like to say, Mrids. Rolls off the tongue just as easily. How are we? Good to see you too. Big D. Apparently, I may have some nasal and throaty issues coming into the beginning, but I will go and clear that out shortly. Sooner than expected. I didn't actually mean to do that on microphone. I prefer to keep my burps as my only bodily function on mic. Anyway, Streety. Oh, I like that description, Streety. Dark and light with witty optimism. Crikey, that's generous. Very generous. But thank you. Thank you. S, how are you? Welcome back. 40ers Fish, first time. Welcome, 40ers. Good to see you in. Battle Brew, also, I believe, first time in. And I noticed you subbed up to the channel. Thank you for that. So many flies. I may have mentioned the flies already. Mismatched socks. Crikey, I didn't realise that was a tongue twister, Jess, but it certainly twisted mine up a little. Geek Boy, how's it going? Zip Gun, welcome back, Zip Gun. C23. That was me singing C23, and the female voice was Cag, the old one of the vocalists in one of my old bands. The track's probably a good 15 years old now, I'd reckon, going way back to when I had my studio in Brisbane. GRB, g'day mate. The old chat jump. Gotta find out where I was up to. Oh my God, it took me so far down. Crikey. I don't think it's ever jumped me that far before. That was a massive jump. I seem to have noticed that Chevy has jumped in and out. Good night, Chevy Fish. Sleep well. And wake even better. And cheers. Cheers to one and to all. I'm not sure if I did catch up to where I was up to. GRB, I think I got to, didn't I? G'day, GRB. How are you, bro? Thanks for your assistance last week on that stream with my blackout and stuff. And hope I haven't missed anyone so far. Yum, yum, yum. Anthony's fishy friends. Good day to you, Anthony. Welcome. Zen Ginger, hi there. Mickham, the blues. Music reference. Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit bluesy, isn't it? Goes with the subject matter, I suppose. Indeed. What a day. What a lovely day. It's okay. It's a bit windy and hot and sweaty and there's lots of flies, but it is not too bad a day. The flies seem to be as thirsty as I am for turkey and coke. Vinoxki, g'day mate, how's it going? Where am we? And what's been going on in everyone's world? I haven't got anything prepped for today. Been running around like a mad unit all morning. Everyone's a fly, Jess. I don't know what the hell's going on with my hair. Oh, good reminding, Zen Ginger. Got a bit of a Teespring plug to do. Joel G, g'day mate, welcome. Gaffer Haynes, how are you? I only saw Gaffer Haynes because my bloody chat just leapt again, I think. Not too far this time, thank goodness. Oh, nice linking up there, Zen Ginger. Scotty Henderson's artwork. Definitely worth a look. One thirsty fly. My rule is when a fly lands in my drink and I catch it, I have to go and feed it to the pet spiders. So rules is rules. Back in a sec. Not cool, man. One down. Pardon me, Mickham. Yes, that's one of mine. I stick to playing my own music in my streams nowadays after a few copyright pings for playing covers on the guitar. Haven't done that for a while. I might have to have a crack. I haven't written anything for a long time, Riddle, because writing would imply that I play regularly, and I just don't. I don't pick up my guitars that often, even though I leave my acoustic guitar and my bass guitar are always sitting on stands in my room, ready to go when I'm ready to go. Just, it doesn't happen as frequently as it should, and as I'd like. I should be playing a lot more, so I don't forget. Ugly Man, how are you, mate? Welcome. I think I said hi to Gaffer, didn't I? How are you, Gaffer? Do you have any dramas down there with the fires yourself, Gaffer? There's a bit of fire action in the South Oz and the WA, wasn't there, this week? Or over the last set of 7? Oh, gun. Well, as I always say, variety is the spice of life, isn't it? The more the merrier. I think they're all your different scuds and microbiome stuff get on with each other. I don't think they murder each other to any extent. So I think no harm in having more than one type, but not having ever deliberately bred them for feeding myself, potentially somebody in the chat might have better information than myself. You can't see if you shudder at them, Jess. It's basically a family of black house spiders that live on my bathroom window, and I haven't had their heart to destroy their web and stuff. All started with one female about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and gradually the clan has built up. Oh, that didn't exactly make it better, did it? Gradually the clan built up, and I think I've now got a good 6 or 7 adult-sized ones, and my original female has about a bajillion babies at the moment, so potentially will grow in the next 6 months. But yeah, when I walk past it, it does kind of look a bit filth and gross with dead insect carcasses strewn throughout the web. So yeah, I did sort of clean one of them up on my bathroom sink yesterday that was getting a bit scrappy, but it's still, I left it enough of its web that it still feels comfortable. Yeah, but yeah, probably not a bad idea. I've shown a couple of the spiders in action, and certainly highlights the the filth that is my bathroom windowsill. But, you know. Right. Good old gaffer. Good to know you're safe and sound, bro. No, I shall not evict my spiders. I was even very cautious when I vacuumed the shelf a couple of weeks ago. Also, did mention just before with GRB's presence, last week's stream went a little bit haywire. Storm caused our internet to drop out. So that was a little bit hectic trying to get back on. I could barely even get back on to end it. But I did in the end, and I had to do it kind of without warning because I was getting very little mobile internet signal as well. But we got there, and thanks heaps GRB for holding down the fort whilst I was unable to. And also those of you that were looking forward to myself appearing on Big Tank Hank's stream at the weekend, apparently a large chunk of the east coast of Australia went down internet-wise with my particular internet service provider. So we basically went the entire day without internet or telephones until probably about 9 o'clock at night. I think the power came back on, which was obviously far too late to begin a live stream, which was supposed to begin some 6 hours prior. Whoa. Blah, blah, blah. G'day, Nath. How are you? Rearrange that furniture, Nath. Get into it. So, yeah, I believe Big Tank Hank is rescheduling our stream for this Saturday. And fingers crossed. I am restricted from internet stuff-ups. That would be nice. Thank you, Telstra. And without further ado, I bid you adieu. The opposite of adieu. Bienvenuto or something. It's this guy.
Hello. I'm back from the dead.
Indeed. It seems you are a vision of health.
I have survived. I've survived another onslaught of terribleness. Do I have my mic turned off? I do. There we go. Is it working now?
It was working the entire time.
Oh, crap. Well, I've been foiled again.
Bloody technology.
Once
Technology
more.
getting the better of us.
Yeah, I had some kind of, I don't know, I caught something. And I was all sick there for like 3 days. It sucked. It was terrible. And now the great flood has begun. Now we are flooding.
As in proper raining flood?
Oh yeah. The rivers are cresting their boundaries and flooding all over the place.
That's pretty wild. I don't mind a good flood. We've had like 2 in the last month. Not severe ones, but just lots and lots of rain making our creeks and rivers bulge at the waist.
Bulging and swollen. Fully turgid.
Turgid. I love that word so much.
These rivers have reached full turgidity.
It's almost an onomatopoeic word, isn't it?
Right.
Almost.
It's close.
But yeah, aren't you still like in mad snow weather and stuff as well? Or is that further upstate?
We got the Pineapple Express coming, man. We've had inches and inches and inches of rain. Now it's flooding. Let me see. What's our rain total? Yeah, 14 days. Let's see.
And just remember, this is an
Put out
Australian.
Huh?
This is an Australian stream, so we'll need your measurements in centimeters, not inches.
I know. I'll have to figure it out here. My computer is set to metric now. So Wednesday
Oh.
it'll be 10 degrees.
Sensible.
Thursday it'll be 9. Saturday it'll be the ocho. I'm trying to find the 14-day rain total. Where is that? National Weather Service? Is that right? Oh, hey, now this is the least helpful website I've ever looked at. Okay, let's not look at that.
Big D suffering with the rain as well.
Yeah, Dennis's yard is all flooded. He posted that earlier.
Lake Tacoma in his backyard, about to have it stocked and start fishing. It's pretty sensible. Get into it. Tight lines, brother. Tight lines.
Where is this? Why can't I find? I want the moisture total. Come on, stupid thing. Rain total.
Yeah, it's funny when a
February.
website can't provide you what it's supposed to provide you. All the weather facts, thanks.
You'd think that this would be something that you could just look up and it would be legitimate. Okay, so in the last 20 days, we've got 420 millimeters of water have fallen from the sky.
Yeah, that's I think we had about that in about 3 days, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But because we are in a spot where there's a fairly significant amount of mountain ridge action and stuff around us, when that amount of rain falls, we flood quite rapidly because all the water coming down the hills. You got a spider sneaking up on you again.
Oh, there's a jet flying outside.
Yeah,
making a hellacious racket.
Must be low.
They get low around here, dude. We get these
G'day, BJ.
low fighter jets, bomber jets.
Oh,
military transport jets.
Coming to scoop up some water.
Private horsing around jets. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Probably full of mercenaries. G'day, Jeff Rose.
Not mercenaries. Likely actual military. Active. Likely. All right. Let's see. Western Washington. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. So we've had like a 14 inches of rain. So I don't know how many centimeters that is because I don't care. It's a lot though. That's a lot for anybody. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, either divide it or multiply it by 2.54 is rough enough. But who wants maths? No one wants maths.
Yeah, we don't care. No one cares. It's multiplied by 2.4, right? Something like
2.54.
2.5. So that would be maths. Was that like 40 centimeters of rain? Something like that?
Yeah, well, you did say 420 mil before, which is 442 centimeters, not 442, 42 centimeters.
442 centimeters. It's a swimming pool outside.
42.
It's thick and deep with water. I'll tell you.
It's essentially it's quite a lot of water. I think we can all concur on that.
It's copious.
Yeah. I mean, most of all our ground is still soggy here, and we've had like 2 days of sunlight, but all of the rain is still sitting on the ground. And
it was all hot out though for you before, though, right?
Oh, it still is, yeah.
No,
it's quite toasty. I'm kind of regretting doing the stream with a shirt on. Actually, I nearly forgot to put it on just before I went on. I went into to do a wee when I had the music playing and realised I was shirtless, and I thought, little bit early in the day for a semi-naked stream. I better put some clothes on.
Yeah, it's a little rough out there for the semi-nudes, you know,
Yeah,
or I guess the never nudes, like on
Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias.
What was
I'll be out here turning illusions in the streets for money.
There was a reference to him in something else just the other day that I watched. What was it? Anyway,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Probably just a podcast or something, or some other silly show where they asked a particular person, "Are you a never nude like Tobias?" Otherwise, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't have had that fresh in my memory bank if I hadn't heard it in the last 3 or 4 days. My memory just doesn't work like that.
Well, that's life, you know.
Indeed. BJ Palmer, I don't know whether you're interested or not, but in the last, well, only very recently actually, because I did say I was going to do it after the stream last week, but only this morning I put that Darth Vader picture that Scungy drew. I popped it on stuff in Teespring. Oh, did not let me post that link. Oh no, there it is.
There it is. Nice. That's the Vader, right? That's
yeah. And I got got Sarah to do a little bit of tinkering with it and put a little border around it that looks like a scrappy looking kind of planet thing.
It's like Smurf Vader, right? It's
well,
not Darth
if you like.
Vader.
That's the I've titled it on the thing Varth Data. just in case I get hunted down by the
cease and desist.
Disney people. Yeah, I don't want that
cease and desist, sir.
And
we're gonna need you to give us $1 billion because
yeah. And I had actually titled it fan art, and then Scungy suggested that potentially that might be a tag that the copyright Nazis go looking for, so I removed that as well.
It might be, but I as far as I know, you know, like Disney's pretty crazy with their stuff, that's for sure. But I think that they have, I think they sort of have the fan art thing that Lucasfilms had to a degree. I think they carried that same kind of like agreement for, you know, like basic fan art. Generally,
yeah, they probably they probably let people get away with it until they're making much dollars.
Right.
As soon as there's an income stream there, then they're over it. No, thank you.
Yeah. I like
Fish and Shrimp by Rich. Hello, welcome. Fish and Shrimp by Rich.
I like that fly swatter. That's a solid one.
Well, I have a strange feeling that they may be used to the color pink, because as soon as I pick it up, they dart. They disappear straight away. Except that guy.
I hate flies. I hate him so much.
Like I can't believe people hate spiders and snakes and cockroaches, but they're cool with flies. You know, flies are the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I'm much cooler with pretty much everything except for rats and flies. Like rats and flies, those piss me off.
So
like the giant spider that's down here, like I joke about it because it moves around and just be creepy. But like, I'm like, what? It's not doing anything. It's not carrying diseases. It's just a spider. You know what I mean? Whereas
anything,
like rats are like, hey, I might have the plague and coronavirus. You know, you're like, get out of here, filthy. You get out of here, you filthy animal. You know.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Scott. Or I should be thanking you on behalf of Scungy about the Vader being sick. I do love him a lot. When I listed it on Teespring as well, I dropped the price lower than their suggested price. I think I put it at $20 or something. Primarily just as a goal to try and move a few units before I get that cease and desist letter. And also so I can get in and get one myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I've listed it also on the Australian version, I guess you'd call it, Redbubble.
I think. Oh, yeah. Redbubble doesn't like send you one for free if you get enough orders, right? Do they?
I don't think so. They do. They do give you the option to buy samples at a reduced rate, and I think Teespring does that as well. But the only time I have received a freebie from Redbubble was when we got some of Sarah's artwork printed on some shirts, and when they came, one of them had a printing error in it. You know, there was a bit of a gap in the printing. So they gave us a voucher basically for a replacement. So we got a different design of hers. And it's, you know, the dodgy one isn't really horrendous or anything, but certainly if you paid, you know, $30 or something for a shirt, you want it to be quite right. But yeah, I think Redbubble, I'm not sure if it ships. It's been ages since I've touched my Redbubble, but I think it may ship out of San Francisco as well as Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, I think they do Melbourne, San Francisco, and I think London, somewhere near London too, if you're like in the EU. Somewhere in England.
Well, I will also then, while we're on that subject, I'll post the Redbubble link as well. I think Redbubble, you can pretty much go through whatever you want in Redbubble and put it on all sorts of knick-knackery and gadgetry. Whereas the Teespring store, I just put it on a men's shirt and a women's shirt.
Right.
And I included, I think, pink and orange because Vader actually looked quite good on the pink and the orange. In my opinion. But yeah, please feel free to get that Vader ASAP and put it on your body because Disney might be brutal and make us take it down. She's got Bantha coming as well, if you want Banthas. What did you say then, sorry?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, get it while you can. That's a good point. Don't miss out.
I mean, it's an awesome picture, and if you like your Star Wars, it's even awesomer. But if you don't like Star Wars, it's just this awesome-looking dude.
That's a good point.
Alyssa Bentley, hello, Alyssa Bentley. # no relation, as I generally say in the chat, because she's not related to Bentley Pascoe. It's easy for people to make that misassumption.
They get confused. I think people get confused. I think they're just confused, you know?
TN Aqua, how are you as well? Welcome.
Gosh, no dislikes yet. I had to open up the stream here. You know, no dislikes yet.
Wow, that's funny because
hopefully we can get some soon.
Well, I had 5 last week, even before I'd started.
That's right. People going with the dislikes.
That's a brutal, but I find it quite funny myself. Aquamate, good afternoon, Joshua. How are you, bro? Welcome. I'm really struggling with the back of my sinuses at the moment, so I'm going to let you take over for a minute while I go and attempt to clear them. Hopefully the sound doesn't come through.
Tian Aqua says hi. Well, how you doing? Alyssa says hi. That's good. Mickey M says, same here in Sweden. Christmas without snow is no real Christmas. We got our first centimeters of it 2 days ago in January. Ought to be 20 to 30 centimeter by now. Yeah, I would imagine that there would be snow in Sweden by now, but this has been a weird year, and obviously climate change is happening, and I don't think it's that great that it's happening, but hopefully some things can come into play soon that will help that out. Hopefully. We'll see. Don Gallagher came back positive for the old Coverino. Oh man, that sucks.
I meant to ask about that before because I was a little bit confused because he typed those in when we were talking about your sickness, and I was wondering if he was saying that you came back positive or if he was saying that it was himself.
No, I came back negative. I remember Don was waiting on his test. I think
right.
on Sunday.
So it is
I think
Johnny
on Sunday
G.
he mentioned he was waiting on his test, which I mean, you got to admit that not only is it a dangerous virus to catch, so obviously the danger of it and the lasting issues that come along with it, but also you got to be like quarantined for weeks. That is all no fun. All of it's no fun. But hopefully you recover quickly and make a turn for the better soon. I hear hydration is like the key. People have mentioned all sorts of treatments and vitamins and stuff, but it seems like the one thing that is for sure important is to drink lots and lots of fluids. Stay fluidated. Stay
proper
like
hydration.
Western Washington and just be fully saturated with moisture.
Proper hydration makes your body work to its best ability, and when you're sick, you want your body functioning at its best, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, you want to be solid. You want to be solid. You want to be solidly moist. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be just just fully committed to being moist. I think that's the reality.
Let's face it, those little temporary catheter bags, they're not too expensive, so you can still just sit around your couch with a condom catheter on.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're home, likely if you're watching like daytime TV, those commercials are going to come on. So even if you don't know, they're going to pop on during the day, let you know. You can just order them right up, if you got to do.
Yeah, I heard that one, Don, that it just takes away the taste.
Yeah.
You can't taste anything you eat.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a big help with that is stock, beef stock, chicken stock, soup broth,
Bone broth.
Get that bone broth. Actually making bone broth takes like
days,
40 hours or something.
Yeah.
maybe just some some soup packets.
G'day, Lee Wilcox. How you going, mate?
You know what sucks? You know what really sucks? Not winning the lottery. I didn't win the lottery on Friday, dude.
I think I told you that, didn't I? That you didn't have the winning numbers. I think I warned you of that from the future.
Well, it's up to 600 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I could buy Australia for that, right?
You probably could twice over.
I mean, well, maybe I could buy like Tanzania or something,
Oh, well, you could buy Tanzania and have a bunch of change, probably.
Yeah, some leftover Skrilla. I could build a building and live under it.
Rebuild some farms.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. We could become farmers, bro.
That's sounds like a lot of work already, just saying the word farmers.
Well, I mean, we just do the fun part. We hire some lads, some chads.
Well, I suppose that's what you use your change for, to buy some people over at Tanzania.
We go downtown and we find some of those young lads in the track suits, with the runners.
Leaning on the fence at the hardware store.
Yeah, we find some of those blokes, strong backs. Get them to do some heavy lifting.
Let me bring in this guy as well.
Oh, is it the Beast? There he is. He's
Hello.
live.
I really should try and find an applause soundbite that doesn't go for 14 minutes.
It would be fun to just do an applause that actually lasted like 180 seconds or something. Just
Keep it going, or you could stand up and take a bow. How are you, Beast?
wander around for a while.
Pretty good. Had a bit of a kip.
Thought you might have.
Yep, and I'm right as rain.
Right as rain. Time will tell.
Yep,
I gotta ask, what's a kip?
that's an Aussie slang for a bit of a quick sleep.
I think it's
Oh, a nap.
actually. I think it's English slang. I think they've been using it for a lot longer than us.
For
Lee
sure.
Wilcox will probably confirm.
Yep, yeah. I'd gather that a lot of Australian old lingo is either English or
British.
or British. Yeah.
It's English or British. Yeah.
Oh, BJ, is that? Can I just interject quite quickly? BJ, is that on the Teespring or the Redbubble? I'm assuming, being American, you're checking out the Teespring.
What happened? What happened?
She's saying the pink is only offered in men's sizes, not women's. But yeah, I thought I just selected the colours and then it applied it to everything. Potentially the women's shirts that I chose may not have offered pink, but that sounds quite silly in today's modern age of Me Too and all that. Surely
You could do
women
a
are still
man's
allowed
pink.
to wear pink.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're all adults around here.
Indeed.
We already came pre-moistened, you know?
I'm currently I'm in my Teespring. I can't see anyone, but I can hear you. So, talk amongst yourselves and make it interesting while I try and fix this T-shirt busy.
I'm going to karate kick somebody in the back.
What's going on, Oz?
Fucking copyright claim
Oh,
on one of my videos.
really?
I shall be formulating a strongly worded correspondence to these scum-sucking pieces of trash. Who's this?
What have they pinged you for?
Oh. Haha. Never mind. I already combated it and they dropped it. Who was it? Let's see. Yep. Okay, never mind. I thought this was new. I thought it was another one. I'm gonna make it go away. There we go. Okay. There we go. Good. I already sent them a strongly worded letter to kiss my ass. And here is my license agreement. And then I gave him this one. And then I bit the thumb at him.
What about the flick of the teeth?
Shakespeare. Then I give him this one. I told him to kiss my grits. Yeah, it worked.
Cool, man.
I thought it was another one. I'm sorry. Sorry to take everybody down this path. But I thought it was a new copyright infringement battle. And I don't want to go down another one right now.
I was always surprised at how many I got when myself and Sarah would just play songs. And, we wouldn't necessarily do them so well.
Oh, like
they just
playing
pick
them
up
live?
on stuff.
Oh, like just playing them live?
Yeah, just like doing a cover with an acoustic guitar and us both singing, and we still get done.
It's mostly the notes. So if you actually play the notes accurately, it will get them like right away.
We must have just nailed those melodies on point.
Triggered.
Well, it's strong,
I believe I have rectified that T-shirt, BJ. but it does say allow 15 minutes for that to be live. So maybe just have a quick check again and see if they updated straight away or what. But yes, I do indeed have to add separate color listings for all styles of clothing. So thank you for making me aware of that. I also added orange and light green and purple maybe as well.
Right.
No sense in, limiting people's choices. Vader doesn't have to be on black, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, so Lee Wilcox says, I've done like 4 live streams over 4 hours each where I play music. Only got a warning from YouTube telling me my videos are banned in specific countries. Your channel might, I don't know if your channel's monetized. If your channel is monetized, they're more aggressive about it.
Right.
For sure. Because, so like I didn't get copyright strikes. I got what are called copyright claims, which means they take the revenue.
Yeah, that's what mine were.
They're like, hey, we're going to take the money because they feel like they can.
I was told that if my channel becomes monetized, any advertising revenue from those videos containing the songs will be paid to the owner of that copyright unless I trimmed out those bits of the video.
You can cut that. You can cut those parts out for sure. They have like tools now that you can do that. But all of the music I play is licensed, so it doesn't matter. But here's what's funny. So like I went to look this up because I didn't want to speak incorrectly, but that video was had made $1.77. Okay. And now that the copyright claim is lifted, you guys, I want you to know that it's gone all the way up. It's lifted itself all the way up to a mind-staggering, mind-blowing. Prepare yourselves. You just may soil your pants.
Do it. Let's do a. Whoever can get the closest without going over.
Okay.
Wins a bucket of kudos. I'm going to go $2.12.
$3.
$2.15.
Oh,
winner chicken dinner.
You got close. You're like super close.
I could just,
yeah. So
the
thing is like, so I probably spent 5 minutes yelling at them via email, right? And like pulling up my license and like pasting my license in there and all that, and being flavorful with my language, and it brought in let's see, what is that, 38 cents. So it's a really good way to argue your way back into the good graces of an extra 38 cents.
Yeah.
That of course is taxed at like 40 something percent because I'm a small business owner, so it's
like, let that be a lesson to everyone. A little bit of effort might earn you 37 to 39 cents.
You might be in that ballpark, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind.
I mean, let's face it. I don't think my channel's ever going to get to 1,000 subscribers or get monetized. So I just left them as they were. Maybe I'll worry about it.
Well, I mean, if the videos aren't monetized and you don't get a copyright strike, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. A copyright claim isn't
that's what mine were. I assumed they were the same thing, copyright claim and copyright strike.
It's two different things. So a copyright strike is bad. That means you're playing like you're posting like Aladdin the movie as a video, right? Like, no, you're just stealing people's stuff, and claiming it's yours. So strikes are bad. Claims are just revenue share type deal. But still, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But I think if you keep up with just doing your your wacky little posts and your live streams and stuff, I think you'll get over 1,000. Pretty, it'll take a little while, but I think you'll get there. What are you at now?
Oh, I don't know. Someone on the
I think you
YouTube.
were at like
and that.
I thought you were at like 700 or something.
Well, that's only 620 something, I think. Last time I looked was 626 or something. Back to Lee, your streams with your music. Are you playing other people's music, or are you like doing karaoke or cover songs or something? It's very intriguing that the system works different around different places, isn't it? Oh, lol. We've got all these numbers coming in. I'm assuming they were for the guessing game for Corvus's income. I forgot we had chat.
We do have chat.
So, you know. Oh, no. They're all sending in my bloody subscriber count. Right.
Yeah. It's your sub count. 639, man. You're growing. Look at that.
Yeah, wow.
growth.
That's like an extra 14 or 15 in the last week or two since I looked at it last.
Brutal.
Oh, g'day, Terry's Tropical Tanks. Didn't see you sneak in. Welcome.
Terry's a sneaky. Terry's being sneaky.
It's in his name, isn't it?
Yeah. We like it, though. Who S is here? Let's see. The letter S.
Aquaman. How are you, Aquaman? Welcome.
Let's see.
Get out of it. They not only do they want to drink in my drink, they want to make love around the rim of my glass, the dirty little buggers.
Lovely flies.
Ooh, Mickey is waiting for his old parents to soon get the vaccine. Man, I got to admit, it would be nice to be in a country like Sweden, which realistically doesn't have like the earth-shattering, staggering number of people to vaccinate.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking. I don't know what the numbers were for the U.S., but I think they've only gone through like some odd million people, but there's like 330 million people to vaccinate.
Yeah, yeah. Our population density is pretty low too, so we're doing chipper.
Yeah. Actually, my mother was volunteering today and vaccinating people.
Okay.
That's what she was up to today. She was vaccinating people at the hospital. U.S. total, percentage of people given a shot we're only at 2.8%. That's not good.
Caught one in my Mandalorian glass.
Beautiful glass.
It's quite nice.
Oh,
Why
yes.
is the dog barking?
It's good for
Yeah, my mother was vaccinating people all day today.
good on her.
Yeah. Coming out of retirement. Going strong.
Oh, that's right. She's an ex-nurse, isn't she?
Yep.
Whoops.
Corvus.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the Netflix Transformers?
Ooh. No, I have not. Is there a... Oh, there's an animated on Netflix, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I scrolled past it when I was sick, and I just was like not in the mood. I don't know why, but I hadn't watched it. I haven't watched it yet, but I scrolled past it. To be honest with you, I wasn't in the mood, but I didn't realize that it was new.
Yeah. The first season is a real slow, grinding burn.
Yeah.
But come second season, it all picks up really fast paced.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. And it is so good to see it back in action, the system where what you see on the screen, you can find on the shelves if you can get out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Josh's level of fandom of Transformers is comparable to our fandom of Star Wars.
Right.
He's a
Well,
nut.
I'm
He's a nut for the Transformers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think we talked about it one time. Like the first time I ever cried at a movie, man, that's when
Yeah.
Optimus Prime died, dude. You know,
Yeah.
when I was a
Yeah.
young lad. Young
Yeah.
lad in the theater watching Transformers, being sad.
Oh,
Well, look, man, Optimus Prime dies. You can't just be like, I don't know, what was I, like 6 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, you can't be blasé of the death of such a hero.
Yeah,
He was the
especially
epitome
at
of
that
all
age.
that is good. All right, good night, Don Gallagher. Look after yourself, mate.
Yeah.
Hydration, rest. What else? You know, eat your veggies.
Yeah, you're supposed to stay on top of your O2 saturation if you can.
Oh, yeah, extra breathing through your nose. Apparently, when you breathe through your nose nice and deep, extra 20% oxygen saturation compared with the mouth.
Well, that's good. Oh,
nice. Health tips.
Yeah, I got them all. Look at me.
Blacky.
I'm a vision of perfect specimen type.
it's pretty strong.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm
Lee
strong.
Wilcox.
I don't know how to breathe stuff.
Lee Wilcox has got a list here. Let's see. Star Trek, agreed. Star Wars, agreed. Farscape, fantastic. Stargate, for sure.
Yeah.
Eureka, yes.
I don't know, Eureka.
Speaking of Stargate, you know, I was a big fan of Jason Momoa when he was in Stargate.
Yeah.
And he was not the huge, gigantic star that he is now. And I will tell you, I met him a couple times because he's friends with my friend. I don't know him. I don't know him, so I'm not claiming to know the guy. But he's good friends with a good friend of mine, so I got to meet him. And it was when he was in Stargate. He was shooting Stargate, and he was up in Vancouver, Canada, all the time. So he would come down to Seattle, and my friend, who is friends with Jason Momoa, does not like sci-fi. He doesn't even watch shows or anything like that. But he was like, "Oh man, you like that Stargate, right?" And he was like, I know a guy that's in that show. Like, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And so he came down, I got to meet him and stuff. And I met him a couple times, and he's just the nicest dude, just like straight up the nicest dude.
So he was in the TV series version, not the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the
Stargate
TV series
Atlantis.
that went on forever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he
g'day,
was like, he was
Steve.
such a nice dude, like just a stellar guy.
Steve Baratic, I'm going to have a crack at. I like having a crack at new names, as people know, and I also like to be told if I get them right or not. But Steve has a question, oddly enough, about fish tanks and stuff. What do you guys think of using oyster calcium human supplements in my tank to benefit my shelled aquarium dwellers?
My
Please.
way of doing things is using actual minerals like calcite to get the calcium in there.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
you can do oyster shells. The only problem is they're generally pretty dirty. So
Yeah.
you just want to soak them in some fresh water, clean them off. Obviously, don't use any soap or detergents or anything like that. But just what I typically would do is I would, like when I did a water change, I'd have a bucket of water change water, throw them in there, shake them around, let them soak overnight, do it again a couple times with like a big bag, and then, you know, take out a small portion of it, dry the rest out, and make a small bag of oyster shells. Yeah, it definitely works.
Well, I think he's talking about human supplements made from oyster shells, I think.
Oh.
So it's probably already in a processed powder form, I'm assuming.
No.
No,
Nah.
don't do that. Just get oyster shells. You can buy them super cheap for chickens and stuff. You can buy a big bag of it for $5 or something. You know, it's realistically not that much.
And on the mineral side of things, calcite is relatively super cheap too. So you just chuck a giant chunk of calcite in there, and it'll naturally
Yeah, it's readily
melt into the water. Yeah, it's all over the planet. Yeah, calcite is weak and useless, except for looking pretty, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's one. I'll add it to my store. It's just a bag of oyster shells. Where's my store on here? There it is. Okay. I put it in my store. There.
So it seems that there's certainly a few people in the chat that were witness to the Stargate TV series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I watched it. I know I watched the original movie with who was in it? James Spader and MacGyver. Wasn't MacGyver in it as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
And were they both in the TV series, or was the TV series all different?
The TV series kept MacGyver, but
Yeah.
dropped Spader.
Yeah.
I think Spader probably wanted a higher pay rate based on where he traveled to in movies and TV.
Yeah.
Didn't James Spader like molest some people or something?
Ugh.
Is that right?
Was he a Me Too victim?
I think
Bad
so.
touch. Have you?
What was that he was like.
Yeah.
There was
Or
a movie.
No. Different guy. Wrong guy. Sorry.
There was a movie in the 80s.
Not him.
Allegedly. Have you guys heard about the story of how Jason Momoa hunted his wife?
Hunted his wife?
Yeah.
No, but I'm intrigued.
Okay, so when he was a kid, he grew up seeing his wife on TV, and he said to his friends and stuff, you know, I really like this girl. I got the hots for her. And eventually he tracked her down and made it enough and found her and met her at a place. And she, I think she was Lenny Kravitz's ex. And
Yeah.
they got it on and they got kids now.
Yeah. I think
Super happy.
her name's Lisa Monet, right? Isn't that who it is?
Yeah, she was from the Cosby Show.
Yeah, Cosby Show. Yeah.
I can say that Dave, my friend, was in their wedding, and it sounded like it would have been pretty fun from what I heard.
Yeah.
G'day, Natural Aquariums. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, it was one
She
time. So a buddy of mine, he ran that was friends with him. He ran this bar that was like, it's like one of the old. It's one of the old saloons that
Good.
that was like from back in the day. Like it's been around since the loggers were logging and stuff in Seattle. It's so one day, like Jason came down, he had rented a Cadillac, like a pink Cadillac.
Oddly enough,
He drove down and he had bought like 3 of the nicest guitars that he could get from a store. So just basically like the 3 nicest guitars that like the guitar store had, right? And he just put them in the trunk. He drove down, picked up Dave, and they popped the trunk out. By the way, they popped the trunk in a part of town where people would probably shoot you for, you know, having too nice of shoes. You know what I mean? So, and they're out there, and Jason's like, pick whichever one you want to Dave, and it was literally just like, one of them's yours, whichever one you like the best, you know. And you're just like, oh, that's like a $5,000 guitar. Like, what the hell, man? Like, all right.
all
And
on
then they took
Stargate
off.
money.
They took off. I didn't get to go with them. They took off. I think I had to go back to work or something stupid, but yeah. But yeah, he was like a super generous guy back then, you know. So I can't imagine there's any chance that he's really all that different at this point, you know.
Well, he comes from good breed, doesn't he?
As far as I can tell.
Polynesian people are always nice. Look at the rock.
Yeah.
Generally,
Even
yeah.
he's a nice boy. Apparently. And that was back in just the Stargate days. So Stargate was paying him okay.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I can't imagine he was making like insane money, but I mean, clearly he was making enough money that he didn't really care, you know.
Clearly,
But
he
I do
didn't.
know that like if you get picked up on a show like that where you're like a main actor, like even if you aren't being compensated like crazy, to the three of us, we would be like, oh man, that's so much money, you know, like because if you're getting like let's say you're getting, you know, because they'll normally pay you like per episode, right? So let's say you're getting like $12,000 per episode or something, and you're doing, you know, 18 episode season or something. You know, it's like kind of do the math on that, and you're like, oh, that's pretty big time, and you work for like 5 months straight or something like that, but then you have 7 months off to do other jobs, you know, to doing other things. So
It's nearly $250,000, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mm.
Yeah, he can afford a couple of guitars to chuck away.
Yeah.
Where's my guitar, Jason?
A good friend of mine moved down to LA about 5 years ago. Oh, this is the chick that's now the AC/DC cover band lead singer. Hell's Bells. So
With an E, no doubt, or two E's.
She moved down there, and she's been doing the what is it? The principal extra. So you basically start out as like an idiot that's like way off screen, right? Or maybe you're just like walking around in a crowd or whatever, those kinds of shots. And I think you make about $400 a day. You know, it's like 14-hour days, something crazy like that. So you're not making like an astronomical amount of money, but if you're doing that like 4 days a week, you know, like you can pay the bills. You know, you can pay the bills and stuff. So she was doing that, and then you work your way up, and then you get your SAG card, so you get in the union, the Screen Actors Guild union, and then you become like a principal extra, which you'll be like closer to the camera, you know, but you're still just somebody in the background, like screwing around with the coffee maker while it's like, dun, 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 bow, 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 bow. And they're gonna find a criminal or something. And anyhow, and then those days you're making like generally like $1,200 to $1,600 a day, you know, that kind of stuff. So you know, if you commit to the job, you can get to a point where you're kind of making some pretty decent money, and you're not even like that big of a deal, you know.
Yeah, you just got to get used to that, all that sitting around waiting for your cue.
Oh, it's just a ton of like farting around, like you're sitting around all day, then you do a part, and then you wait, and then you do a thing, and then you wait, and then you do a thing, and it really is work to like just stay like just being there working, you know, like remembering that you're working and stuff. So yeah. BJ Palmer. I have to confess, I'm harboring 2 felons. They escaped and ran naked through the neighborhood last month. The coppers told me they would prosecute if it happened again. Dang horses. These dang felonious horses. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen my two not my 2 horses, but the 2 horses that habituate my back paddock. I haven't seen them for weeks, but apparently they're still there. They just stay in their front paddock instead.
They're just roaming about?
Oh, they have like access to multiple paddocks, and I'm kind of happy that like there's an ex-racehorse is one of the horses, and the other one's a miniature horse, but the ex-racehorse has a stress disorder where it's called cribbing, where they bite onto fence posts or fence railings and suck air through them.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, it's pretty weird to watch, but it's quite destructive to your fences, loosening fence posts, because they put their whole body weight and muscles into it and pull back while they're inhaling air through their system.
Sounds like they need a big joint.
Yeah, well, apparently it's just a stress disorder that a lot of horses develop, and it's very hard to treat. And very, very hard on their teeth, Alyssa, especially when they advance from the fence posts, which are just timber, to the top run of wire of our fences are a metal pole.
Yeah.
And yeah, this racehorse, it just grabs onto the metal pole and
Right.
waves the fence backwards and forwards while he does his breathing and farting and stuff.
Yeah. Lee Wilcox brings up a good point. Farscape was excellent. Have you guys seen
Well,
Farscape?
Yes.
I was going to raise a question because I'm familiar with the name, but for some reason I can't remember it.
It's really
Pilot.
it's really good. You should definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it,
You
Is it
don't
a
remember? You don't
is it a
remember Pilot?
stream? Say again,
Pilot.
Beast.
You don't remember Pilot? The animatronic beastie creature that was locked into the ship.
Nah.
All right, it was an Australian-made sci-fi series, and it is bloody phenomenal. In the later seasons, they did some really good effects.
Does anyone know if it streams anywhere that I would have access to?
I've got it on
Farscape?
DVD for you.
Oh,
I mean,
sweet.
I have Farscape on DVD somewhere too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it streams anywhere.
Yeah,
But you'll binge it big time. Like, just be aware.
So good.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It's really good. I think it's like 5 seasons or 4 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if it's 4 seasons, it's 4 like pretty long, lengthy.
And they've wrapped it up with a mini movie as well, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or wasn't
Was
it wasn't it like a mini series, or was it like
Mini series, yeah.
is it something like that? Yeah, I think they sort of finalized all this stuff because like Jim Henson's the Jim Henson's the studio, the Jim Henson studio, so it was like his son. They did all the animatronics and the puppets and costumes and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good show. Like it's based off of like an American astronaut is like in a shuttle, right? He's in a shuttle like flying around out in space, but really close to Earth, right? And then he gets bamboozled into a wormhole because he's trying to figure out wormholes. This is like kind of slightly in the future. So maybe, do you know the timeline? Is it maybe like 2050 or something like that? It's not.
Something
crazy.
feasible. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like kind of screwing around with the idea of a wormhole, right? And then actually sort of accidentally figures it out and flies into a wormhole, and then he's out in just the universe, like lost. like
Gets
and
picked
it's just
up
him,
by
like,
the crew. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just him dealing with basically just being like all of a sudden out in space and dealing with weird aliens and whatever the hell's going on out there. It's really good. It's really well done.
One of the characters.
Steve says it's streams on Prime.
Oh, is
Awesome.
it on Amazon?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Check it out. One of the characters in there, Scarox or something, he had this amazing costume made out of a crocodile or alligator leather, black leather.
Oh yeah, that's
Scorpion.
definitely
Man, so good.
it's what was his name? His name was Scorpius, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was that was definitely like he rocks the leather daddy outfit the whole time.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh
sold.
yeah.
Sold.
It's pretty good. It's a good show. It's just really, it's well written. Like the premise sort of has substance. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. So this guy's like, he's like an astronaut dude, and he's got a theory, and he's going to try the theory out, and then it's just bonkers all throughout that, and then it's just him like trying to get back to Earth, basically.
I wonder, was it done on the Gold Coast or was it done in Sydney? So I might have been living on the Gold Coast when that was filming up there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. It might have been Fox Studios, but Yeah, I can't say for certain.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Mm.
I mean, I guess I could look it up on the internet, but I can't even figure out how much rainfall there was.
Yeah,
I tried to
yeah.
look that up.
Not on fire today.
Escape.
And Nath, I think I've got I always end up with more cherry shrimp living in my filters than in my tanks because it's a safer place to live for them
Oh
away
my God,
from.
was this like the easiest thing to look up and ever? Okay, yeah. So 1999 to 2003 in Bondi Beach.
Bondi.
Well, Bondi, is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bondage and Discipline Beach, Sydney, New South Wales, Fox Studios, Moore Park, Olympic Park,
Yeah.
New South Wales. That seems to be all the locations. But yeah, filmed in Australia.
All Sydney
And,
based, yeah.
Probably a bunch of locations that you guys sort of, at the very least, understand.
Well, it was 1999 when I left Sydney. I lived there
99.
for 4 or 5 years, and I was out of there in '99, so I didn't bump into any of the production.
You should have
I was there
stayed,
in 2000.
because then you might have been able to be in Farscape. You know what I mean?
Nah. It was good to watch it, but yeah, fuck getting stuck into it. Could be cool being in production one day, but, you know.
Yeah.
Lee Wilcox mentions Red Dwarf. Apparently, has there been a reboot, or are they just continuing Red Dwarf? Oh, and G'day, Scott and Chuck.
Well, I don't think it's rebooted. They just have new seasons, right? I think this is the second new season.
Phil Emerson, how are you, Phil? Welcome.
To be honest, I really should be watching them, but I really haven't.
There's just so many things to filter through to watch, isn't there now?
Yeah, I mean it's rough because like I love Red Dwarf. Like I grew up watching Red Dwarf. I think they started airing in the US in like 91 or 92, which was like perfect timing for me because it was a space show that made fun of space shows and made fun of itself. So I mean, yeah, there's a new season coming out right now. And then season 12 is new, and season 11 is all. Is season 11 new? Possibly. Season 11 looks new. And so does season 10 looks new also. God, I'm like way behind.
It's a bit half-assed compared to Farscape, though.
It definitely is not the same as Farscape. Farscape had a lot of backing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you don't have Jim Henson Studios working on stuff, and you're like, you're not a shoestring budget. You know what I'm saying? You're not just like, well, we have to find a camera. You know, they were is pretty strong, and I don't know that it was received like really, really well in the States or really anywhere. But I think it had just enough of an audience to kind of allow it to continue on. I think
too, if you come with a well-written product and the studio is going to back you, then they're going to front you enough money for the good services, aren't they?
Well, that's kind of the thing. Like, you know, if you meet the right person and get your project backed, it's pretty it's a pretty intense budget. Like when you have something that's actually funded, realistically, like Vicky's cousin, who's a good friend of ours, also not only family but she's also cousin or a friend. Like she works on some smaller projects, but she does, you know, directing, and she's a showrunner for these kind of smaller projects. And, you know, even the budget that those guys are working with is, to me, sort of eye-opening. You know, I'm like, damn, really? You know, so, you know, you start to talk about like a show that has like Jim Henson Studios working on it. Like the budget's pretty intense. So, which also I think lends itself to people being a bit more dedicated to making sure that the show really, really does follow through, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little different now, but
And another one, I wonder if either of you have seen it, is Lex. The
Oh,
double
I
X.
love Lex. Lex was fantastic.
German porn star as one of the lead roles. Bloody
Eva
excellent.
Hyperdrive.
Haber or something.
Yeah. Bloody excellent series.
Haberman. Yeah, it's great.
Go watch Lex if you haven't seen it. Amazing. Don't know where you'd find it these days.
Well, I actually started it again not long ago, but I can't remember where I found it. But it was on one of the streaming services, whether it was Prime or Stan, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's certainly out there on the streams. Hyperdrive, obscure
Never heard
British
of it.
sci-fi.
Well, I mean, it's got it's not Simon Pegg. It's not Simon Pegg. It's the other guy.
Nick Frost.
Yeah, I mean, he's in it, so it's not like that. I wouldn't say it could be like that obscure.
Is he the he's the like witless captain or something of a starship, Nick Frost, isn't he?
Yeah, Nick Frost.
It's got the, yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, 2006, 2007. So it's probably like fairly obscure now, but I think if you're a Nick Frost fan, you probably have stumbled across this. I think I've seen a little bit of it, but I can't say that I've really, you know.
Yeah, I think most BBC series like that or English series, they consider 6 episodes a series.
Oh yeah, like that's a season, or even the whole thing.
Yeah, they don't flesh it out too much. Yeah, Miranda, that the other girl, she's got her own series now or something as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do remember watching that. I can't remember much of it. Leahy Wilcox saying Lex was a soft porn sci-fi show.
Yes.
In my opinion, there could have been a hell of a lot more soft porn in it. They undersold the soft porn aspect of it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Probably.
They could have got away with a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to imagine that's always an element that pretty much like doesn't exist in sci-fi. Like they're almost always like very sort of like sterile and sort of like that's not really an element.
They almost pretend that going to the toilet and doing the sex doesn't exist,
right?
Which was a beneficial thing with The Mandalorian and a couple of the cartoons where they start to mention going to the refresher or where's your refresher, that toileting actually exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Orville? Have you delved into that?
I don't know that.
A little bit. I never really got to the point where I was like, man, I really should.
Fucking persevere. It is fucking funny as fuck.
Yeah.
What's Orville?
The Orville is Seth MacFarlane's take on Star Trek. And he pretty much has all the things that Star Trek failed to ever address. He will put it in there. And it is fucking hilarious. It really is done really well. It's serious, but also funny. Spoiler alert. There's a scene with this slime alien creature who's part of the crew, and this woman's getting enveloped in his slime, and the slime's penetrating her in every which way, and she's loving it, and hilarious. Oh,
I don't know. I got tired of Seth MacFarlane. He's pretty like saturated over here in the US,
right. Well, persevere. It is worthy. It is really worthy. The cartoons are just a sideshow now, really. Orville is the main product.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you don't like him, that probably won't be your cup of tea.
Well, it's not so much. It's not so much that I dislike him. It's just that like he got like really saturated over here. I mean, there was a point where he had like I don't know. I don't even know how many shows he had going on, but it was just like you know, if you turned on the TV like on the right night of the week, it was like pretty much every show that was on was airing it, you know, and it was something that he was working on. You know, it's
And
the
he-
same thing for me like with South Park. Like you know, I know people love South Park and people get like super mad at me about it, but it's like I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, South Park, all right, you know, I don't find it like that ridiculous amount of funny like most people do. And you know, I've had people tell me it's just like, oh, you just don't get the jokes, and it's like I get the jokes. It's social commentary, like which is something that I focus on pretty heavily. And I get jokes. I feel like they either don't go far enough with any kind of critical analysis, or they just go like so far off the deep end that it's like, you know, to me it always feels like they're either landing short or too far. You know,
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
whereas
Yeah.
Whereas like Basketball, the movie that they made was so funny. Like it's so like you could just to me you could watch that movie once a month for the rest of your life and it's still funny like every time you watch it, you know, because it's just so spot on. But as far as like the TV show goes, I feel like maybe if they weren't so frantically trying to put them out every week, like maybe if they just maybe took a little bit longer to put them out or something like that, they might just get
Corvus, it sounds like you need some integrity in your life.
Integrity Farms. MTF and F, how are you? Lee Wilcox, clearly you don't hang around in our streams long enough because 90% of these streams are spent talking about sci-fi and not fish at all. So, you know.
Yeah, generally.
We're a sci-fi stream that occasionally has fish questions and answers.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of the thing. Like, I mean, if you look through the chat, it's sort of like if a fish question comes up, we'll normally answer it for sure. But normally we just get on these weird rants that we're talking about Star Wars or whatever, you know, pretty endlessly. That's sort of what we do. I guess I don't know, man. I almost feel like when I hang around with people, like I talk so much about fish, I talk so much about plants, I talk so much about aquariums, I work on aquariums a lot that it's almost like normally when I hang out with people, it's like I kind of want to talk about something else, you know.
Yeah.
So if I get a chance to come on here and talk with the boys down in Australia, it's almost like, hey, did you see that fish last week? Like, oh yeah, man, it's fantastic rainbow fish. Okay, so anyhow, did you see this episode of the you know, like
and yeah, I know we've had this discussion multiple times before that was primarily one of my objectives with doing this live stream was to be, you know, an alternative thing because there's a lot of people doing live streams now where we're all talking about fish and stuff. And, you know, occasionally the same unit of people just want to hang out and talk about something different for a while. So, you know, that's what we do. Or
just talk about whatever is naturally like what's going on, you know.
Yeah. Just good to talk about the real world and the fake world as well as our fish tanks once in a while.
Right.
Well,
it's like people have regularly asked me, they're like, well, what do you and Corey talk about like when we hang out, right? And it's like, okay, well, yeah, we talk about business stuff because we have business things that we have to do, and then we generally talk about like other things that are going on because it's like we're either
talking about fish today.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's like, you know, we talk about the business and do all the business stuff. And then we do like what projects are being built and what needs to be done over here, what needs to be done over there. Like what's going on with like this plant, that plant, what's coming in, what's going out, blah, blah, blah. And then it's kind of like, all right, like we're already doing that 50 hours, 60 hours a week. Let's you know,
Yeah. What are you having on your tacos tonight?
is that like yeah, you know, the
Fish
other night,
tacos.
like, oh man, I went over here and this place was hella good to eat. You know, it was like, oh, all right, maybe I'll check it out. You could
Right,
definitely
like-
have fish tacos. Fish tacos are delicious. I
They're
prefer, personally, if people can do it right, I prefer like a halibut taco myself, but most people screw that up. So you kind of normally have to go with codfish because it does have a little higher oil content and whatnot.
It's harder to overcook a cod, isn't it?
Uh-huh. It's much more difficult to screw up the cod.
My mate Kai makes some mean Taylor fish tacos. They're the best. Aussie
Where are you at,
species.
Steve? Steve Baratic.
Steve lives down the street from me. I go over there and throw him bags of plants.
Asking what the current legal status of cannabis is in your neighbourhoods. Medically, it's acceptable where I am, but yeah, it's still frowned upon for recreational. Hopefully, that'll change soon.
People ask for fish,
Don't
I'll give them
mind
some
a bit of it.
fish. And yeah, weed here, Blacky, you can walk down the main street and get it. No worries. In a vape. Once you go to the clinic and get a prescription. And you can get bags of weed from the pharmacy over at Brunswick Heads, just down the road. It's $300 for 15 grams.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. But you get to pick all your strains and get everything perfect.
Get your grit exactly how you like it, huh?
I paid $200 for
EVs.
28 the other day, and I'm quite satisfied with the strain that it is.
I'm a sober guy, so I don't smoke any weed, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, me neither. I like a bit of the CBD, but the THC doesn't do it for me anymore. Not into it.
Yeah, fingers crossed they'll fix the laws regarding that crap all over the place. People are becoming wiser. It's not as
Yeah.
evil as people make out. Some people, sure, it fucks up, but not everyone.
Bit of consistency would be good. Yeah.
I've been informed, to change the subject, that my niece has had a baby girl today.
Really?
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
5.5 weeks premature.
Wow.
But
Well-
my niece who's just had the baby was 9 weeks premature herself. So
Whoa.
Let's get back into balance.
she's she's a big beast of a kid now. So no doubt that her second child will be a fair unit as well.
Yeah.
And
All
what's that?
healthy and everything's good.
Yeah, well, a little bit of bruising. Apparently, there was a little bit of hard pushing towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a bit of bruising around the head and a bit of breathing issues. But yeah, the next 3 or 4 weeks in a humidity crib will sort that sort of stuff out. But yeah,
Congratulations.
that's me. Great uncle, 5th time over now.
5th time. Wow.
5th time, yeah. I'm a great uncle. I'm so great at it. It's in the name.
It's an official title. What happened to the beast? Did he passed out from excitement?
Sorry, I was making bad noises.
His exuberance was so powerful.
I was
Yeah.
listening. I was just making some.
Lost consciousness shortly.
Nah. I'm all good. I've got a very special beverage for today. It's very unbeastly. It's a little baby can of Jack Daniels.
Oh, so
Oh,
the
the old double serve.
You know, double serve. Yeah.
Is it just straight liquor?
2.0 standard drinks, 10%.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
so sweet, those ones. I remember they come in a 4-pack, right? I'd smashed half a 4-pack in no time at all, and then just felt ridiculous from the amount of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got diabetes.
So
You know?
sweet. I've always found Jack Daniels to be a very, very sweet bourbon, though.
Yeah.
Quite brutal. But speaking of which, Terry Pratchett's The Watch. 3 episodes in now. It's good. I like it. Get into it every. But you were saying it's not releasing in the States just yet, is it?
Not yet, but I think it might be out now.
Because the spacing between episodes has been really interesting. It's like a new episode every 3 days, I think. On what's it on? I think it's on Stan. But yeah, it's been a really good take on the City Watch from Terry Pratchett's Discworld, if people are familiar with Terry Pratchett. Yeah, very, very, very good fantasy comedy writer, and the show is so far living up to good expectations.
Is it pretty good? It's getting terrible reviews in the States.
Yeah, people are dicks though, aren't they?
Well, yeah, you can count on that.
Generally,
I've been enjoying it because I like it when they use I think they use the term inspired by, not based on. So there's a few little interesting things that are changed in it that are very, very. Oh, that's right, Lee Wilcox. I believe you've told me about Rincewind on your thigh before. Yeah, I know who you meant. I'm just topping up my drink while everyone can absorb how awesome Terry Pratchett was. He's dead.
Oh.
Oh, well, it's definitely got some recognizable actors in it. Yeah, it's got that Game of Thrones guy.
Which one?
I wouldn't have known his name, but I just found it. It's his name's Richard Dormer.
Which character does he play?
He plays that. Oh God, the guy with the flaming sword, and the eye patch, and he's get brought back from the dead with the fire sword. What the hell was his name?
Hasn't come into it yet.
In the what? In Game of Thrones?
Oh, right. Flaming sword in Game of Thrones, you meant. I thought you meant
Yeah.
Flaming sword in The Watch.
No, I haven't watched The Watch yet, but he's the guy from Game of Thrones. Guy with the flaming sword. What the hell is his character's name? I don't know. He has an eye patch and he's running around. He has a flaming sword and he's brought back
I'm
to
trying
the
to
dead.
remember the flaming sword from Game of Thrones. Crikey, don't tell me
Beric
rewatching.
Dondarrion. That's why I can't remember his name. His name's Beric Dondarrion in the show, which is just so easy to remember.
Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it?
It's just right there.
No.
You know, it's like John Smith. You know, it's just a boom. Got it. Derek Dondarrion.
There's a flaming sword for you.
He dies, and then the what is it? What is it?
The Hound.
No, well, he dies, and then the Lord of the Flame or whatever the hell, I don't know. Game of Thrones pissed me off so much with the ending there. I just straight up was just like, all right, F this nonsense. What? Okay, hold on. Don Dondarrion.
Yeah, I don't remember a flaming
Lord
sword.
Beric Dondarrion is the Lord of Blackhaven and the head of the House of Dondarrion. In the war of efforts against the Lannisters, Beric was killed 5 more times and was brought back to life by Tauros each time. So the Lord of the Flame or whatever, with the fire, you know, like the Fire Witch, whatever her lord is.
The Melisandre.
Melisandre,
She was easily the sexiest woman in that show.
Yeah, but she was a dead old
until-
lady.
Yeah.
Her real
Until
form
she
was super
revealed a
old,
real
crusty
form.
lady.
Yeah.
Doesn't change my opinion. Gorgeous.
Oh,
Absolutely gorgeous.
Blacky would go there.
I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick who was the most attractive from Game of Thrones, I don't know. It would be hard to say. I have to think. What was the Hold on, let me look. I'm gonna look up a list here of female characters. Female characters from the Game of the Thronies.
But yeah, I think maybe. Did you say his name was Richard someone? Because the Sam Vimes, the captain of the Watch. I know I've seen that actor somewhere before, but I just can't place him, and I haven't IMDb'd him yet.
Right.
Yes, Cersei's the obvious go-to. Yes, she's always been gorgeous, but evil.
Cersei? No, I'd say
Evil.
Ygritte. I'd say Ygritte, the wildling girl. That
Yeah, what was she
Oh,
in
yeah.
as well? She
Yeah,
was in a show I watched just recently.
she's the wildling girl that
Jon
that
Snow.
Jon Snow hooks up with in the cave, and then she gets murdered pretty quickly.
Yeah, she's in something else that I'm watching as well, though. That was really good.
Oh, she's like his actual wife, right?
G'day, Jana French.
Like, I think she married the actual Jon Snow guy.
Yeah, right. Why wouldn't you? They're both gorgeous.
Yeah, why not? Kit Harington, that's his name. Kit.
Kit. Yeah.
It's like a nap.
But what's her name? The ginger girl.
What's that?
What's the ginger girl's name? And now that you've got her on screen, what is she in that I'm watching?
Her name is Rose Leslie. Apparently, I didn't know that.
And I'm sure you know the answer to this, but what's the other show that she's in that I'm watching at the moment? Utopia.
What is it? Utopia?
Yeah, but not the American-made diseased Utopia, and not the Australian-made political Utopia. There's a UK show called Utopia that is fantastic and definitely worth watching as well.
Where do you catch that one, Blacky?
Prime, I think.
Okay, I'll check it out.
But yeah, it's sort of the first season was set nowadays, and these people find a graphic novel which apparently has all these secrets in it.
Oh yeah, I've watched that. That's awesome, Mr. Rabbit.
And Mr. Rabbit, yep. And the second season starts some 20 or 30 years before, and Ygritte, or whatever her name is one of the characters in the previous instance, and then they do like 2 or 3 episodes in the second season where it's the prequel kind of era, and then they start jumping backwards and forwards between prequel and current time. But awesome show, has been very good.
Okay.
Seen Mr. Robot S, and I totally agree. Awesome show as well. Very, very, very enjoyable. Good to see Christian Slater getting his ass back on the televisual circuit.
Hell yeah. Wild ride, that one.
Yeah, it's a very good show, and I'm glad they did what they did and then left it alone without trying to book it for any more. Yeah, because they told a really good story in one season, and that's all. It was only one season, wasn't it?
No.
Was it 2?
At least, yeah. I think it might have even been 3.
Oh, S is saying you guys should watch Mr. Robot. It's a fantastic show. We binge watched that with one of the Fish Fam. We went and visited one of the Fish Fam people in Michigan, and because our sleep schedules are so like wacky, like Vicky and I went out there, and we were like, we're going to be out there for like 4 days, and so we weren't going to do the 3-hour switch. So we ended up like staying up pretty late there, which meant that it was dark and it was cold out because it's Michigan. So we couldn't really do anything when it was dark and cold out. So we would like go out and do stuff all day, and then we'd go back and watch Mr. Robot. Great show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good. Probably, I may need to confirm how many seasons of that. Was it only 2?
I think it was 3. I think it was
Yeah,
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pretty wild ride, I got to admit. Pretty
That
wild
Dark
show.
Army last season was just balls to the wall. So glad it wasn't reality. Damn.
Well, who knows?
You know.
It's kind of closer to reality than I think we realize. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. It
And then
makes me wonder.
Sorry, keep going.
It makes me wonder. Some people have a bit of precognition ability, and they fear for events that happen, but it turns out just to be a movie.
A movie that they're remembering from 10 years ago.
Or
But yeah,
a movie that precognition, like they feel the event is going to happen, and next minute, it's just
Minority Report.
That's like Minority Report. Yeah, they'll put you in a tank, you know.
yeah.
And the next thing you know, like Tom Cruise is yelling at people,
Jumping off stuff.
jumping onto planes and whatnot.
But yeah,
Ridiculous acrobatics.
Mr. Robot, certainly shot Rami Malek into the spotlight, and then he got to do Freddie Mercury. Now the kid probably never has to work again.
Probably not, I would say. That put him right up there to doing some real big projects. And yeah, I mean, he did such a good job as Freddie Mercury. I mean, I was such a big fan of Queen and Freddie Mercury, and it it's like I think he did such a good job with that. Even if the accuracies aren't 100% or anything like that, but it just really is a fantastic movie, that's for sure. And just an incredible performance, really.
Lee Wilcox, I assume that has the watch released in the UK yet? Because I'm sure you'll be eager to jump onto the watch ASAP. But yeah, Lee Wilcox asking for suggestions for new shows.
Farscape.
Yeah, Farscape.
I'm pretty sure when we were talking Farscape earlier, I'm pretty sure Lee was one of the input providers. I think he watched that.
Okay. Lex.
I think I've still got a season of Lost in Space to catch up on as well, because that wasn't too bad at all.
That's pretty rad. And
it had what's her name? Molly Parker was the mother of Lost in Space.
Did Altered Carbon put out a new season? No,
yeah.
There's season 1 and 2.
Yeah, two seasons.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, if there's a 3rd season out already and I have missed it.
So does that one comes highly recommended as well, does it? Because I've quite
Altered
often...
Carbon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Seriously. If you haven't seen Altered Carbon, you've got to go watch. You've got to watch that, dude. It is.
Yeah, I've like, skipped five a few times now.
Even just the character Poe is sort of the he's sort of the embodiment of Edgar Allan Poe. Sort of. I don't know, but like it's hard to explain because the Poe, the character, is actually
hologram.
He's the AI of a hotel.
Yeah.
In the future. Yeah. And it's very... I'm not going to spoil it for you or anybody that hasn't watched it yet, but he becomes a main focal character in the show, and he, like, even just the character arc and development of that character who's not even a real person. Like, will just punch you right in the gut. I mean, it really is like it's very, very, very well done. I don't know. It's difficult for some people to like that show because there is a lot of sexuality and nudity and
Oh, well, I definitely can't watch it then.
certainly a lot of violence and whatnot. So it doesn't really. Well, it has it has extremely graphic violence, and you'll find out why once you've watched it. But very, very well done show. And I do have to admit, I kind of went into the first season like I had just heard it was a really cool show, and then I had to watch it. And that's basically all I knew about it that was going on, that was going to happen.
Did you see the promos they did for it?
Hang on.
Really,
Looks like Scotty Henderson off to bed. Don't forget to go and check out Scott Henderson's Instagram, people. He's a quality artist. And Mridul Singh off to bed as well.
See you guys.
Look out in the post, Scotty Henderson, for your big bucket of kudos. I'm sure it'll get to you ASAP.
Yeah, the Altered Carbon guys did a promo at a trade show as if their technology, the key center point of their plot lines, was a real thing.
Like as in they went to a real technology trade show.
Yeah. Advertising that they've cracked reincarnation and you can get your consciousness uploaded to the stack, and if you die in your body, they'll just put you in a new body, and people lapped it up. They thought it was real. They just blew the free advertising everywhere, and
that's hilarious.
That marketing team is on point.
Yeah. That's the way you do shit. This is the way.
Yeah, Lee Wilcox agrees. You know, like he really is. Yeah, Poe is the Samwise Gamgee of Altered Carbon. Like he really is. Like, yeah, and I mean, I wasn't that emotional about any of the other characters in the show, but Poe really like struck a chord with me for whatever reason. I don't 100% know why, but I guess I could psychoanalyze myself or something at some point and try and figure it out. But that character really like just hammered in there, you know.
Crikey, I'm generating quite a list of shows that I must watch.
I would say Altered Carbon's probably start watching that one, and maybe I'll start watching it again.
Who you calling Potato S?
Fish Tropic saying the new Dracula show is good. That's if you're talking about that 3-parter one, Fish Tropic, I agree. It was very good and quite true to Bram Stoker's original novel as well. Very, very, very good. It's sort of like the closest to the original since Gary Oldman's version.
I haven't seen that one, but I did watch the new Castlevanias all the way through. Quite good animation. I don't know if you haven't seen those.
Yeah.
Have neither of you seen Castlevania?
No,
I've not. I always ignore it because I assume it's Mickey Mouse.
No, it's
What's
not.
Where's my confusion coming from? Why do I think Castlevania is Mickey Mouse?
Probably because Castlevania was like for Nintendo.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a Nintendo property, and then they made an animated series about it. But it's pretty. It follows the character lines, but it doesn't really pull any punches. Like it's fairly graphic, that's for sure.
Yeah, I might have. I'll write that one down as well. Jesus, this list is getting ridiculous.
So there was like Castlevania, the animated series. So the original one, I think they made an original one. Like, now I might be wrong about this. Hold on. I swear they made an original one in like the 2000 or something like that, like a long time ago.
I have to just go wrestle a crocodile real quick.
I could be wrong. about that. But season 1, 2, and 3, so 2017, 18, and 2020 are the Netflix version. Yeah, 2005 is when that came out. The Curse of Darkness. Okay, so the series was originally planned as a film. Yeah, they had a contract from a script in 2007. In about 2015, they re-picked up the project and sent it into Netflix. So I think they made some of the shorts in like 2007 or something like that, and they got released. And then I think they got stricken from consciousness and then made into a Netflix series. But considering season 1, 2, and 3 are out, you could definitely like stream the whole set fairly rapidly. But I think it's a pretty good take on Dracula and Alucard and the family, and just it's a pretty good series. It's pretty easy to watch too. 3 seasons, and I think they're going to make a 4th season. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. Fish Tropics wondering if I've seen Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, of course.
Of course. I don't know that one either. What's it all about?
Vampire Hunter D?
Classic Japanese.
It's about goblins and tailors, people who make trousers, yeah?
Trouser shorts. Yes.
God, so I have to put that one on my list as well. If Tropico is recommending it, it must be okay.
Vampire Hunter D is a classic. Definitely a classic.
Is it old?
Yeah. Been around the block a few times.
Yeah, I think Vampire Hunter D is... Yeah, the original is in 1985.
Ah,
wow.
So it's likely that I'm going to start watching it and go, oh, yeah, I remember watching this when I was a child.
It's pretty brutal. So, I mean, it's not really... oh,
yeah.
So release date was 1993, I think, was the U.S. release. Then I think the newer one was in the year 2000. In the year 2000. But I think it was made in 1985, and it was very, for 1985, I think it was pretty over the edge for most people to wrap their minds around, like a rated R, like hard R vampire animation film.
Yeah, Tropic is not made for TV.
Definitely not made for TV, like at all.
Attack on Titan is awesome. I really hope they do an English dub of the 3rd season, if they haven't already.
Like, if you watch Vampire Hunter D and you go like, this came out in 1985, you'll be like, what the fuck is happening? Like you'd be when you start to think about it and you go like, this came out 35 years ago and it's this wild, right? Mm-hmm. Like if this came out 5 years ago, you'd be like, man, these guys are on some kind of like wild trip. But then you start to consider like, this came out in 1985 when everything had to be like hand animated. Nothing was done by computer back then. So it was all like literal animation of just doing all of the storyboards with just like this graphic madness, where you're just like, all right, there wasn't very many. If there wasn't really that much of anything going on in 1985 as far as like that kind of wild animations, I mean, there was like heavy metal and stuff like that, but
heavy metal wasn't that graphic, was it?
Titties,
just the boobs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's just boobs and stuff in general, like adult stuff. But then, like the end of it, with everybody getting sliced apart and all that.
Yeah. What about Urotsuki Doji? Urotsuki Doji. Legend of the Overfiend.
That's not ringing a bell.
You haven't seen that?
I mean, it's not ringing a bell.
I had it on VHS.
Yeah, that is just ridiculous.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Oh,
Legend.
yes, I have seen this. Yeah, yeah. It's just not ringing a bell because I'm a dumb person.
A bell end.
Because of the way he pronounced it, it's Udot Prodigy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the penis monsters. Oh,
Yep.
tearing up the city, raping women.
Testament did a song about it.
Really nice. When my friends and I were watching it, I was like, he's going to cut off his dick. And they're like, no, he's not going to do that. And it's like, yeah, it's going to happen. And then he did. And then he put the demon dick on himself. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was ridiculous.
A bit much.
Yeah.
It does. It gets out there sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Enemy Mine, that was Lewis Gossett Jr., wasn't it?
What?
I saw a couple of references to Enemy Mine, the movie from late 80s, early 90s. I think it was Lewis Gossett Jr. was in it. He might not have been one of the action stars in it, but I seem to recall that it was quite a decent film.
When did Naruto come out?
Yeah, I don't think I could sit through Naruto.
Yeah, I don't think that I could either. But 1997. That's older than I thought. I would have guessed 2007.
Oh, the bub.
Yes, how's the colouring at the top of its head? That's its bruising and stuff.
Oh.
Wait, where am I? Oh, hold the baby back up. Did you hold the baby up? I missed it. Oh, that's cutie. That's not that premature. Come on, the doctors are just off.
Oh, like I said, the it's only 5.5 weeks, and its mum was nine and a bit weeks. So yeah, it's done well. They can do loads of stuff with premature babies now. They come out beasts.
Ooh, Lee Wilcox is The Last Starfighter. I think they're remaking that. Let's see. I think they're remaking The Last Starfighter. I think there's a new one coming out.
Now, I always get The Last Starfighter confused with Flight of the Navigator. They came out around the same time, didn't they? Like mid to late.
Yeah.
So, Flight of the Navigator is just that kid gets picked up by the spaceship that's a alien. The Last Starfighter is Alex is playing the video game, right? The arcade game, and he actually beats the arcade game, but he's the only person on Earth to have beat the arcade game, or in the galaxy to beat the arcade game, as we find out. Turns out he's like good enough to be the last starfighter. So the aliens come down to recruit him to come fight their battle for them in their final ship to fight off the bad guys.
Oh, that's funny. Then I mention it, and Lee Wilcox says that they're remaking Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, they're remaking Flight of the Navigator? I heard they're remaking the Last Starfighter too, but could be wrong. The Last Starfighter reboot will be a movie, not a TV series. Gary Whitta, co-developer for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, announced a while back that he was working with the writer of the original Last Starfighter to relaunch the epic some 35 plus years since it initially took flight. So it will be a movie and not a TV series.
Nice.
So The Last Starfighter also is getting rebooted as a movie.
Welcome back, Jeff Rose.
So congratulations, you shall get both. Because as we say in 2021, why not both?
Take it all. That's the 2021 motto. Take everything.
Get it all.
GRB says we watched The Last Starfighter on the weekend on Anthony's Fishy Friends channel.
Nice.
You'll definitely get a copyright strike for that one. Come on now. Come on now.
if it wasn't on screen, they'll probably be okay. But interesting.
Yeah, you could watch it all at the same time, like everybody 3, 2, 1, or you could watch it on what's that? There's like a streaming service. What was it, like White Rabbit or something like that? I forget what the heck it's called. There's like a streaming service where you can watch a movie with your friends. But
Disney does it now.
Huh?
On Disney Plus, you can do.
Yeah,
group.
well, Disney, you could do group watch Disney movies, but this is like it's like a knockoff of Discord or something. You know what I mean? Where it's like if people have the link, they can go meet in the room, and then one person can play the movie,
Right.
and then
right,
everybody
right.
watches it all at the same time, and you can live chat. I mean, it's kind of fun, I guess, but you know.
Oh yeah, people talking in the movies has always been enjoyable.
It's always great when people are yelling over the stuff that's going on, you know?
It always reminds me of De Niro's crazy laugh.
Feel like,
he's in the
I
movie.
feel like Australians probably do that a lot in the movie theater, huh?
Nah.
There's not some bloke that's yelling over top of stuff going on all the time. No.
I'll step up and start a fight.
Yeah, I was going to say if there is, there's always another bloke 3 rows back that's going to slap him in the back of the head for it.
Yeah.
Some fisticuffs.
Yeah, I had to man up, and this guy was like nervously twitching his foot on the back of my seat, and I stood up and said, "Oi, fuck off! Stop that fucking kick in my chair, man! I'll fucking deck ya!" And he stopped it. Yeah,
Which is, I mean, that was the norm in the States previously, but a little while ago they moved the seats apart. So now you can like lay down in the seats, like
in a good cinemas like that. Yeah.
That's solid. That's a solid, and you get to pick your, ahead of time. You reserve your seats.
Yeah.
You're like, I want D 4, 5, and 6 or something. And like you have reserved seats. That's that.
We've even got beer service and alcohol at a lot of cinemas in Australia now.
Yeah, we have a fair bit of that going on, but
yeah.
I feel like. Well, we always go to the theater so early in the morning because we have a kid,
Right.
So we'll like have somebody watch Olivia at like 8:30 in the morning until like 11:30, and like we'll go see a movie or something. But since COVID hit, we can't do that anymore. But
right,
don't want to be in a dirty movie theater with COVID carrying whoever,
Fish Tropic raises an interesting point about Short Circuit that he's watching Short Circuit 2 this weekend. But I'd heard a rumor some time ago that they were remaking Short Circuit.
Ugh.
Oh, with Johnny Five?
Johnny Five. No disassemble Johnny Five.
I don't know, man. That movie is just, if you watch it now, you realize just how racist that movie is. You're like, this is ridiculous. I mean, when I was a kid, that movie was like so fun to watch, but you watch it now and you're kind of like, oh wow, they're just like this. I mean, I don't know how you would remake. I mean, I guess you just start with a whole new script, and the idea is that they build a robot, I guess, and then just go from there. But I mean, I watched that and I was like, oh my God, they're just psychotically racist about like everybody in that movie. And it's just like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. Somebody's going to get slapped in the head,
Yeah.
Just for watching this.
They were different times back then.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, man, I think you and I were talking about it one night that myself and a friend of mine back when I used to drink, so this is probably like 8, 9, maybe even 10 years ago, we were just up hammered drunk, right? And we're like flipping around on the TV and just kind of laughing about what's ever on the TV. And my friend, we call him Grunther, he was like, oh my God, the original Three Stooges, like AMC was playing like some kind of like a marathon of all the old Three Stooges. We put that on, and it was like And I'm telling you, we're just like 3 sheets to the wind drunk and literally like stone face going, this is awful. Like, oh my God, what? You know, like they made all the Japanese people like have crazy buck teeth, like gigantic buck teeth, and they're running around acting like morons. And it was like,
Did they have their eyes sticky taped down as well? Like,
yeah.
do the thing, but
Yeah, it was just like, oh my God, this is awful. Like how, oh man, people sucked so bad. Like, but you know, it's like when we were little kids, we just thought it was funny because it's cartoonish, you know. But you know, I mean, it was like it was over the top. So like, Skookum Chuck says, try remaking Blazing Saddles. Like you could remake Blazing Saddles. Mel
You'd
Brooks
have to
isn't dead. You know, I mean, you could get Mel Brooks to come work on the movie. You know, you could remake Blazing Saddles. There's a bunch of parts that you would obviously have to adapt to now, but it is
rewrite. Yeah,
it's within the realm of adaptability. But you know, like those Three Stooges were just like, just burn this. It's like, just burn these copies. Like this is just, oh my God, like what the? It's like no redeeming quality whatsoever. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the idea of a Weird Science reboot. I loved that movie in the 80s. It was like one of my go-tos. I think I watched it at least 17 or 19 times, probably because of what's her name? The boobs in it. Probably because of that as a teenage boy. They were fantastic, but crikey, that's
Quality
gonna
titties.
What's her name? Rachel
Tits McGee.
yeah, I think Rachel McGee or something like that.
I was joking. Tits McGee.
She was British. I know she was British.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking it up. I'm looking up something else. Frankly, I don't care. I mean, I will say this. I will say this. I was obsessed with her boobs at the time. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
Well, she was also.
I'd have to rewatch that movie to even know if there's even like any real redeeming quality to it. Because I have to tell you, some of these old movies, you rewatch them like from when we were a kid, and you're like, yep, like okay. Good times, you know. What you know? You're like, what's going on here? Zip Gun says I was an Oingo Boingo fan, which I would agree. I feel like you have to be an Oingo Boingo fan if you're a human, pretty much, because that's just like raucous dance jams. But
wasn't
the
Oingo
movie I'm thinking that they should remake is Real Genius with Val Kilmer.
Don't know it.
You've never seen Real Genius?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. This is a movie from 1985 that you 100% should.
Man, we should call this stream the 1985 stream. I think 1985 has been referenced so many times during the entirety of this stream.
Hey, 1985 was a big year. All right, it was a big year, and I think that like Val Kilmer's old enough now that he could play the dean. So like in Real Genius, he plays a college student that's a genius at like some Harvard, very select Harvard type school. And he's trying to develop, technology and stuff. It's so funny. You should watch it. It's ridiculously funny. And I watched it a little while ago, and now he's old enough that he could play the dean in the movie, and hopefully have somebody else play the college age genius.
Oh man!
Was I right that Oingo Boingo was Danny Elfman's band?
Was Danny Elfman in Oingo Boingo,
or is it some other famous person that I'm confused with?
I don't know. I you know what? Let's see.
Seems every time.
I mean, I know their songs, but yeah, Danny Elfman. Yep, Danny Elfman and Steve Bartek. John Avila, Richard Elfman. Yeah, it's Danny Elfman and Richard Elfman, the brothers.
My the biggest song I was exposed to of theirs was "Stay." Won't you stay?
Oh yeah, that's a good
If we
jam.
get the room.
They have a bunch of good songs, dude.
I wonder will I get a copyright claim
No,
for
probably
that?
not. Yeah, it wasn't good enough. That wasn't
I
good enough
just
to
hit the
trigger anything. But
Man,
all those
I-
were just like a party band. You know what I mean? Like they were just.
Yeah, they had the goods.
Old Val was in the worst movie I've ever seen, The Saint. That is just a steaming pile of garbage.
Yeah, The Saint is a trash movie. It's not good.
Wasn't
but
that was a remake, wasn't it? Wasn't that a
You guys-
remake 60s movie or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible. I think he tanked after that. There was no coming back from that.
Oh, I got
Force.
9:30. I got to go to bed. Beast, you take over.
All right, man.
Well, where the hell did Blacky go? Well, I guess I
He's
better
back.
wait for him to come back.
It's all
He
right.
went to go-
I
went to go
keep
poop
killing
again.
flies, so I have to feed the spiders.
See, Corvus.
I got to go to bed. I got to get up at 3. So
All right,
I'll
man.
go-
Take it easy. Glad to see you're back on the well register.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
on the mend. I'm on the
Land
mend.
of the living.
Nice.
I'm working all these extra days. I got to make up for the sick days because I'm American. I don't know how
Okay.
it works in Australia, but I got to make up days.
And it's
Sorry,
terribly
man.
terribly unfortunate that we don't get to call you Corvus 19. It was just a flu or a cold or something.
Yeah, it's Corvus 21, baby. Bring it all. Why not have it all? All right,
Get
guys.
some. See ya.
Love you. Bye bye.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. The Elfmen. Yeah, it was Roger Moore, wasn't it? Not Michael Caine. I did say Michael Caine. Thank you, Lee Wilcox. It's
Roger
you know,
Moore.
when you get to my age, it's quite easy to confuse your what do you call them?
Oh
people.
yeah, Ghostbusters remake. Except Chris Hemsworth as the secretary. That was class. That was really good. But everything else about the Ghostbusters, absolutely agreed. Terrible.
But I thought the secretary lady in the original Ghostbusters was better looking than Chris Hemsworth, or
Oh, for
whichever
sure.
Hemsworth it was.
Yeah,
she was
for
a
sure.
babe with those massive specs.
Oh yeah, you gotta
I
love
got-
a girl with glasses.
In the spider feed.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, you gotta love a girl with glasses. I was always into librarian types. Girls with large collections of books was always my thing. There's no aphrodisiac like well-read women.
I thought you were going to say loneliness.
Truth, beauty, and a picture of you.
That's probably just gone over the head of anyone that's outside of Australia.
What was that band called?
The Whitlams.
The Whitlams. Yes, Goth. Oh, Goth.
This is one of the finest Australian prime ministers we've had.
Mm-hmm.
No matter
Indeed.
Your desire.
It was a nice tribute to a great man to name a band after him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another one, Steve. Animal House. I don't think they could remake that film with the same impact that it had when it came out. Because, am I confusing Animal House? No, Animal House was like that frat movie, wasn't it?
They sort of redid it with that Bad Neighbors movie, in a way, with Zac Efron. That's pretty fucking funny.
Oh, did you hear about Zac Efron's land purchase?
In Byron.
No, in the Tweed Valley, north of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like $2 million property that he's going to build his own house on.
Yep.
It's just down the road from where my mate Brett lives, and he says it's just the most amazing rainforest and waterfalls and stones and stuff.
Smart guy, you know. This is the place to be.
And then now there's all this talk coming out about all these Hollywood people that are coming to our area and buying up our real estate.
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy. Just when we thought we had enough money in the Shire, they keep bringing all these rich people in.
Oh yeah, things will go crazy. I expect property value to increase tenfold within
keep going
10
up
years. Yeah. Everyone wants to get in, and unfortunately for the people with rental situations, it's just going to get worse for them. So I feel bad for them, but you know, I own my own house. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it's certainly a benefit, and it brings to fruition, you know, as we all grew up and we were told by our parents that you know, get some money in the bank and buy a house, that it was the key thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Clearly they were right.
Yep. Especially in this region. It's a particularly good patch of paradise.
Yeah, I thought there was a Belushi in that one, Lee Wilcox. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they could really do an accurate remake of that. I believe I'm losing my throat.
Fish Tropic, I'm coming to buy your land. I'm not selling. Good luck buying. There's not much for sale left.
We'll see you when you get here, El Tropico, with your briefcase full of cash.
Get over here while you can. Fucking oath. Would love to have more quality fishy fam over this area. It's quite conducive to breeding fish and animals. Yabbies, I think we've talked about this before. Grafton is like the perfect place in the world to grow freshwater crays.
As much as I would really like to grow them as a commercial interest, it's not going to make me move to Grafton.
Oh, fuck no. Just need a warehouse out here in the paddocks around Mullum. And
well, that's what I want to do in the back one out here. Put a big shed and fill it with concrete tanks and breed all sorts of edible yabbies.
Do you guys have one of the paddocks there?
No, we don't own it, but you know, I'm pretty tight with the bloke that owns it. But
Yep.
He wants to develop the property as a vegan friendly retreat. So I'm not sure if he'd be keen for the idea of breeding a food creature on his property.
Seriously, we need protein, man.
But he's also you know, he's a property developer, and his prime interest in life is money in the bank, I think. So if it's a viable business idea, surely he could just fence off part of his property and give it to me as a viable business investment.
Oh, for sure. I'd be keen with that. I'm sure I could rustle in some roustabout help to keep it going.
And yeah, Alyssa, very, very certainly a valid concern, because our grey and black lists of fish in this country grow every week, it seems. Certainly very difficult to get a lot of species into the country that are readily available all around the rest of the world. But yeah, we are certainly very limited as to what we can keep and breed legally above board.
Yes, because people have misbehaved, and the ban hammer happens pretty quickly once that occurs.
Yeah, it's a terrible shame, because there's a lot of fish that are just super awesome that we just can't have down here.
It's not just the fish too; it's the plants. Like
true, absolutely.
I've got an illegal plant called Alodia that grows really well in my bowl. I put a few sprigs of that in my pond, and it took over the whole pond and stuffed the whole thing up. And then other weeds took over, and now it's just a fucking swamp. So I've seen the damage that Alodia can can do to an ecosystem.
Yeah, well, I suppose the good thing about Alodia is you can just duck to one of the local creeks and pick it up. But I had another highly illegal plant in this state called Amazon frogbit. You're not allowed to have that in New South Wales, and a particular human from the southern states of Australia where it is legal sent me a few little heads of it, and I did have it growing for a little while, but now it's all died off over the winter. So I'd like to get me some more Amazon frogbit going, even though it's illegal, but obviously it's quite difficult to keep here.
Have you seen the prices on rare morphs of Java moss, like the fern moss and stuff like that? It's ridiculous. $30 a gram.
Crikey.
We're talking street weed deals prices for just little samples of rare Java moss versions. It's ridiculous.
Hello,
It's
Crystal. How are you? Sorry.
Yeah, we should really. It'd be good to get some aquaponics going and breed rare and exotic, legal weed to sell to aquarists.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that, if I get a shed going, that'll be an excellent thing to do.
Subvasatang. Have you seen that stuff? The water
I have,
lettuce? Beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
hang on. Subvasatang isn't water lettuce.
I've got it wrong then. Yeah.
Yeah, they're two different plants. I've got a couple of heads of water lettuce that are, yes, illegal as well, but my 3 heads of it are going okay. I would really like them to hurry up and start dividing, but they just seem to keep growing.
Okay.
Growing one head instead of dividing.
Yep.
But yeah, as illegal as, obviously the reason Elodia is illegal in New South Wales is that you can pretty much go to any creek in New South Wales and pull it out of the creek, which is probably a better thing to do than to just leave it there, take it home, put it in your fish tank.
Yep.
You're saving a little bit of native waterway.
Yep.
Maybe we should go for a thing where if you go to the creek to harvest noxious weeds, whatever you take, you rip out twice as much to throw away as well.
Yeah. Man, if it was legal, I could have had a fucking Elodia farm out of that pond. I was literally pulling it out by the bloody load.
That there's the little creek just down the road towards Main Arm from your house, where that bridge and the swimming hole is. There's so much of it in there.
Yeah, right.
It's already invaded that little system massively. But it's also a great spot to go for freshwater prawns and shrimp and smelts and stuff as well.
I'd be keen on some local prawns. Jeez, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd want them in your bowl with your swordtails though, because they're quite predatory.
Oh, those big guys. Yeah. No, I don't want those ones. I want the shrimp.
They start the size of the shrimps, but they certainly get bigger. But yeah, you'll catch a 100 little inch long things, but a third of them will be prawns and the rest will be your ghost shrimp.
Right. You never know. You're going to get a big bastard growing up and being a terror.
You do know, because the prawns have their long, they're called long arm freshwater prawns for a reason. They've got their long pincer ones, whereas shrimp don't have them.
Yeah.
So you can identify them pretty snappily.
Yeah.
What do we got? Nearly 4:45. What's that mean? We've been going for 2.5 hours.
2.5, yeah.
We should probably pull the pin and let these people go to bed.
Good night, folks.
What'll I do? I'll chuck the Teespring link in there again in the chat, because if people are interested, like deep down, I have a feeling, because it is a copyrighted character, that potentially I will get a cease and desist order on my Darth Vader shirt designed by Scunge Princess. If you like your Star Wars, jump in there, get yourself a Darth Vader shirt. In my opinion, they're bloody choice. But yeah, I still have this deep, dark concern that because it is a very, very well-known character, that I may well get a cease and desist. And also, Sarah did give me a little teaser the other day. She's working on a bantha. She's working on a bantha as well, which looks pretty awesome. And I'm going to hopefully pop that on T-shirts as well. Steve, we have the crimson spotted rainbow, I believe, are local to us. A lot of people will probably tell you they're aquarium friendly, but in my opinion and experience, crimson spotted are a bit of a prick of a fish. I think they're, as far as rainbows go, they're quite aggressive to other tank mates. Apart from the crimson spotteds, we have they're not rainbows, but the Pacific blue eyes are here as well. They're another really nice aquarium fish that you can get going quite well. Several different types of gudgeons, eel tail catfish, not necessarily aquarium friendly either when they get to 15 or 16 inches long. Empire gudgeons, I don't know if I mentioned them just now, but we have a few aquarium friendly fish, but generally if you're going to do creek catching around here, it's better to do like a, what do you call them, biotope, where you do an aquarium designed to highlight a particular area, because they don't necessarily become compatible with their tank mates, pardon me, as well. But yeah, just the crimson spotted are our local rainbows here. You've got to travel probably 200 or 300 kilometres north of where me and the beast are before you start getting some different rainbow species. They like the warmer water than us.
We caught a few blue eyes or rainbows up in the hydroelectric area.
Where's that? The dam.
The old
Clary
hydroelectric
Hall.
system. Yeah, up the hills.
Yeah,
My
that'd
dad
be
came visit.
Pacific blue eyes. I think they're a pseudo moogle, aren't they? Something like that.
Yeah, they're pretty
I had a
cool.
bunch of them at one stage in one of my bathtubs, but unfortunately they shared that bathtub with a fish that liked to eat small fish, so they all disappeared quite rapidly.
Yep. That's
But
what
yeah,
happens.
there's a creek in Bangalow that there's so many of the Pacific blue eyes, and that there's a lot more prawns in my experience in Bangalow than there is in the creeks around here as well for some reason.
Okay.
So yeah, if I had less tanks with massive cichlids in them, I would probably duck down to Bangalow and do a few net sessions and see what I could find. I definitely
might be worth
prawns.
videoing it. Might be
Oh, no.
worth get a live action few videos going.
Yeah, I probably should do more videos on my YouTube channel. I keep saying that, but I still don't do them.
Yeah.
Here and there when the opportunity arises.
Yep.
Anyway, let's call it an Arvo.
For sure. See you guys.
if I can't find that show on Amazon Prime, I'll hit you up for the DVDs. Farscape,
Yep.
that was, wasn't it?
Farscape. Yep, absolutely. You'll love it.
All right, everyone. Thanks heaps for hanging out. GRB and Zen Ginger both handling some modding tonight. Thanks heaps. Please do get yourselves a Darth Vader shirt. Oh, sorry, a Varth Data shirt from the Teespring or the Redbubble. You know, if you're on the Instagram or something, pop it on the Instagram and tag me and Scunge Princess in it when you get it, when you try it on. Can't wait. And yeah, thanks again. Happy Tuesday night, everyone who's on Tuesday night. Happy Wednesday to all of us real people in real time.
Real time.
Oh, good idea, Mickham. I should have done that as well. I might actually do that, Mickham. I'll go back in and add a COVID mask with the Vader on it. That's a top idea, Mickham. I'll send you 0.0001 of the profits. percent of the profits.
Sounds fair to me.
All right, everyone. Thanks heaps. Thanks for all the new faces and voices that hung out for a bit, even though I think Steve is potentially the only new face that's still hanging out. Clearly, we lost a few people. I find that's a bit of a problem when you get a fish channel like Bentley Pascoe sending people over. I think a lot of people expect that it's just going to be fish chat.
Yeah.
And when they come across a few dudes just talking about random shit, I think they might not necessarily be that interested. But, you know, we held on to a few people. So well done, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Take it easy. Thanks, Beast, for hanging out.
No worries, man. See you later.
All right. Take it easy. Enjoy your Arvo. And yeah, BJ, I'm going to hassle Scungy about getting that Bantha done so we can get some Bantha shirts going as well, because I want that too. All right, everyone, take care. Look after yourselves and each other. And say hi to your mum for me.
Bye.